evening and welcome to Maple Grove, where tonight on CCX Sports we've got boys hockey as the hometown Crimson host the St. Michael-Albertville Knights. Glad to be with you this evening. I'm John Haddon along with Dan Fick. And Dan, St. Michael-Albertville 15-5. They've been red hot. They're taking on a Crimson team that is 7-9-3. But based on who these teams have played and the conferences they played in, this probably should be a pretty even matchup, even with those lopsided records.
Yeah, it really should be. The Mississippi 8 Conference is not as good as the Northwest Suburban North, but St. Michael's played a hell of a schedule. They've played Edina, they've played a number of top-notch teams in the state, and this is a pretty good hockey team. I expect a good game tonight.
They've been really good as of late. They've won 4 straight, 8 of their last 9, and they've scored 24 goals in their last 3 games. What do you expect to see from them on the ice?
Well, I expect to see a couple lines really pressing hard. They get a lot of shots on goal. They get to the net. They can put the puck in the net. They're averaging about 4 goals a game, so they're really going to push on Maple Grove that way. The goaltending is what I'll be willing to see against the Maple Grove competition and see how that stands up for the Knights.
The goaltending on the other side, Ethan Hyder has been a consistent presence for them all season, but consistency and guys being in the lineup consistently has been a problem all season long for Maple Grove.
You know, he's one of the top 5 goalies in the state. There's no question about it, but he's really been pressed hard. They've had injuries, haven't been able to score a lot of goals. They didn't know who was going to be on one line to the next, so it fell on Hyder to take care of him, and he stepped up to the plate in some games, but, you know, you face over 600 shots, which he has. It's awful tough to stop him, but he still has over a 90% save ratio, and he's done a heck of a good job. Now they're healthy for this last run of the season. They're healthy tonight for the first time. Hyder will be a deciding factor if they can put some pucks in the net.
2 teams warming up now. They take the ice to face off shortly right here on CCX Sports.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Inside Maple Grove Community Center, you're looking at Premier Bank Rink as the Knights of St. Michael-Albertville visit the hometown Crimson here in Maple Grove. And John Haddon and Dan Ficken back with you as we get set for tonight's matchup. You get a look at the Crimson as they take the ice. And for the last 3 years, the Crimson have been led by head coach Todd Berglund. And Todd has been in this program a long time, but in his 3rd year, 43-31-3 overall during that time. And he's hobbled to a degree, but he's not out of it.
He's certainly got some enthusiasm. Unfortunately, he broke his elbow that required surgery. He joined his team. I mean, they've all been hurt. He's had 6 or 7 injuries, and he figured, what the heck, he might as well join them. But he's done a marvelous job with the program. Got him to state last year, and he's optimistic now. He's finally got all his kids together, and he thinks they can make a run.
On the other side for the St. Michael-Albertville Knights, in his 13th year is Jeremiah Johnson. He talked about bringing a program a long way. This game would have never happened in years past, and now he has made the schedule in such a way that he's playing his first ever game against Maple Grove.
They started getting better over the years, and he finally got a good win against the Burnsville team, and all of a sudden he said teams are starting to call him for games, and he's had a marvelous schedule. He played Edina and Holy Family and a number of the top-rated teams in the state, and they're a very competitive team. I'll be interested to see what they do against Crimson tonight.
In his 13 years, 187 wins, 138 losses, and 14 ties for Coach Jeremiah Johnson. They're going through the starters here. Let's look at the starters as well. First of all, for those Knights who are 15-5, they start in goal, Justin Damon. He's been the #1 all season long, the 5'10 senior. You're going to look at his numbers right there. In front of him defensively, number 8, Val Poposky, and number 12, Garrett Sandberg. And your starting line at the front today is number 7, Caden Sigerud. He's the centerman, and flanking him is number 2, Blake Spetz, and number 3, Zach Shaleen. Those are your starters for Coach Johnson and the St. Michael-Albertville Knights. On the other side for the Crimson of Maple Grove, in net, you can see him there, Ethan Hyder, the 6'2 sophomore. And the numbers are solid. The record isn't where he'd like it to be, but the other number is strong this year. Hyder skates out. In front of him tonight, number 20, Tyler Borsch, and number 24, Ryan Brandt. Those are your starting defensemen. Maple Grove Crimson, first line tonight, but really their number 2 line is centered by number 4, Nick Latvila, and then flanking him, number 16, Matt Jaglow, and number 18, Will Peeler. And those are lines that have been shaken up fairly recently for Coach Berglund.
Actually, number 4, Nick Latvila, was a defenseman up until now, and they've just been trying to find some scoring. He brought him up, playing center on this line, and him and number 16, Matt Jaglow, have kind of clicked. So they got a second line that's going to start scoring now, which lends to Coach Berglund's optimism about the next few games.
And so the top 2 guys for this team in Trevor Kukkonen and Tyler Kostelecki are guys that have been around for a while and have contributed. Guys we haven't even talked about yet, but for a Maple Grove team that lost its top 5 scorers from a year ago, those are names to look at as we get going. Right now, we'll pause. When we come back, we drop the puck between St. Michael-Albertville and Maple Grove.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Knights and Crimson tonight here in Maple Grove. John Hutton, Dan Vicken back with you as it is finally time to get going. And as you look at that group for St. Michael-Albertville, one thing we haven't talked about yet in previewing them is how senior heavy they are. 12 seniors this year, and that is a class that has won 3 consecutive Mississippi 8 titles. They're well on their way to a 4th consecutive. They could make it every year of their high school career. And they take on a Maple Grove team that is a bit more mixed in terms of its veteranship. We talked about all the top scoring leaving from a year ago, but this is a team that has not played as well as they know they can play, and they still got time to figure it out before the postseason.
Yeah, they do. The injuries didn't help, and now they're getting everybody back, and now they've shuffled some lines to see what they can do, and they're going up against the St. Michael team that's a veteran, experienced team. As I said in the pregame, they're averaging 4 goals a game, so this is going to be a real test. Mr. Hyder's going to have to be on his skates and on his pads tonight against these Knights, I would imagine.
Crimson in the white, and Crimson going left to right. Blue, yellow, and white going right to left for St. Michael-Albertville. After the Crimson take the opening face-off, they get a quick shot into the body of the defenseman. Rebound attempt deflected away as well. And early attacking coming from the Crimson. St. Michael-Albertville moves it up ice, controlling the Sigaroo. They'll get into the offensive end. Track down in the corner. Centering pass ends up behind, and the Crimson take control. Maple Grove, of course, playing on the big sheet, and they're used to it. This puck given ahead to Will Peeler. He takes a shot. Big rebound, but collected by St. Michael-Albertville. Knights into the far corner, picked up by Cole Lehman. Tries to work it up the ice, does tip it forward. The headman pass knocked away as the Crimson send it down to the near side. Lehman takes it off the wall. Centering pass knocked away and taken. The Crimson coming the other way with Tyler Kostelecki. Loses it at the half wall, and we go back the other direction. Quick turnovers, and now some speed shown by Luke Leyland. Leyland, one of the more exciting players for this squad, tried to leave it back. It's stolen away. Crimson have done decently on the forecheck in the first couple of minutes here.
Well, so far, the Crimson have had the better opportunities and created some. But St. Michael seems to be rebounding here now. This is their top line, so we'll see what they can do here against the Crimson.
The sophomore Leyland tries to leave it behind the net for Fleming. Instead, it's taken away by the Crimson back out to neutral ice. Trying to create something, some pushing, no arms in the air. We continue on as this is Garrett Sandberg trying to bring it into the offensive zone for the Knights. Puck left behind the net, now out front. Shot, and this one covered up. Able to get his glove on it was Hyder.
Well, Hyder tested here now. Good opportunity by the Knights as they came in here. Leyland coming in and just making a nice play here. Gets it out front. And then they come inside.
That was Fleming, and he was right there. Just couldn't get his stick on it for some reason.
He was on it.
We're already seeing some speed that Coach Johnson had talked to us about before the game. And on the break, St. Michael-Albertville has been good. They just haven't gotten a lot of shots out of it yet.
Yeah, you're kind of talking to Coach Johnson about the big sheet ice, which St. Michael-Albertville does not play on, but he said we can skate, and that's the answer. If you can skate, you can play on a big rink. Just the angles changed a little bit, maybe a little while to get used to, but so far, Knights have held their own.
The net came loose there behind Justin Damon, so now reset. We get a face-off just outside the Knights zone. One back by St. Michael-Albertville. Puck slid over to Garrett Sandberg. Tries to work it up ice. Dogging him there is Tyler Oakland. St. Michael-Albertville gets it to center, but not much further. It's taken here by Stelgis. And poked back the other way. Into the Crimson zone behind his own net. Hyder leaves it off for his man. Brandt, D-to-D pass. Leyland, or excuse me, that was Sigerud that time getting in the way. So Caden Sigerud taking it back, forces it behind the net in a battle with Tyler Borsch. It's worked down to the near side with the Crimson control. Puck possession has not been strong for either side so far. And hard to move it up and down the ice. Crimson looking to break out. Able to corral this puck is Jaglow. Gets a shot away. Save made by Damon. Ends up on the backboard. Still there. Scooped up here by Borsch. Try to leave it back in the corner.
This is a line that the Crimson want to see get going here. They need to put some pucks in the net. We know the Special K line can do it. They've done it all year, but this group's got to start stepping up to the plate.
Jaglow able to pry that one out from the boards. Never got a shot away clean. Poked around out to the blue line. This is Kelly putting a shot towards the net. Shut down by the defense of St. Michael-Albertville, and they'll slide it out to neutral ice. Shalene got in some trouble. Handed off to Sigerud. Gets it into the offensive end. Now Spets takes control. Gets around the net, centering pass, and it goes right to the stick of Latvala for Maple Grove. So the Crimson collected on the near side. They'll send it to the other end. This one makes it into the blue paint, so having to make the stop is Justin Damon, and he'll hold on instead of handing it off.
Well, somewhat of a smart play, but again, causes a face-off inside his own zone against Crimson here. But Hyder was tested earlier on, I think, and Damon's going to have to take a little time here to really get tested. He's had a couple shots, but mostly blocked by the D.
Brady Burning off the face-off, sends it around the far side boards. Crimson whip it right back into the zone. Similar situation, and again, Damon's going to cover up and not take any chances. Does force him to face another face-off.
Well, I think I've noticed too, though, St. Michael's, they're starting to move the puck, trying to move it quickly. They're a little off right now, but it looks like they got a pretty good idea where they're at. It looks like lines that have been playing together. I think we'll see about halfway through this period, they're going to start clicking on that and mount some rushes against the Crimson D.
Well, you talked about them having the speed to play on this big rink, but the angles are different on a big rink, and the force you have to use is different. So definitely understand where you're saying they might figure it out as we go on. They've only played one game on a big sheet. It was a 5-1 loss to Edina during the Schwann's Cup tournament. Puck worked through neutral ice, poked ahead by Connor Kelly, stolen away. We go back the other direction. This is Nate Swenson. He takes a shot after crossing the blue line, clears the crossbar, and played out to the far side boards. Crimson get it back to Kelly. trying to bounce it ahead, knocked away for a moment. Now Kelly sends it to the far side. Stepping in front to intercept is Burning. Brady Burning gets it into the offensive end as his teammates go off on a change. Looking to take advantage. We go the other way. Tyler Kostelecki sends it into the offensive end. Taken right back by St. Michael-Albertville. They poke it into the Crimson end. Back and forth. Crimson secure. This is Ryan Brandt. Senior. Headed off to the far side at neutral ice. Stolen away. Cody Kelly getting a stick on it. The sophomore plays it forward. Now his shot ends up in the near side corner. Lane Burning, the first man there for St. Michael-Albertville. And back out to the blue line where the Crimson cross into neutral. Tyler Borsch breaks into the offensive end. Centering pass and a kick save made on that point-blank poke. Kept in at the blue line nicely by Ryan Brandt. Brandt again. Slap shot, moved aside. A little contact there with the goaltender, and we do have an arm in the air. Delayed penalty coming up on Maple Grove, and there it is. I believe this will be contact and interference with Justin Damon. No, high stick.
High stick.
Yeah.
Inside, which is kind of unusual. The Crimson have been very good about penalties. They've taken the least amount of penalties in the Northwest Suburban North. And but the other thing I'm noticing too, that John, is St. Michael is pressuring the Maple Grove D, especially breaking out. And if there wasn't for the far wing flying, they would be having an awful tough time getting out. There could be turnover possibility there. We'll have to watch that if that pressure continues on the Crimson D.
The penalty on Nick Stelchis. So a power play opportunity for St. Michael-Albertville. They've already got it set up in the offensive zone. You mentioned that they haven't taken a lot of penalties, but Stelchis is #2 in penalty minutes. Off a rebound, shot goes over the crossbar. Held in here at the blue line. This is Sigerud. Shot from the point, looking for a deflection. Instead, it ends up on the backboards. St. Michael-Albertville's power play, is just under 17% this season. Not a super strong number, and they went 2 for 2 on Saturday in their 9-0 win. So it was even worse before that go-around.
Well, Coach Johnson said that they changed up the power play now. They were having trouble, and they think they found one the kids are comfortable with.
Looked good there.
Yeah, sure did.
Val Poposky with his 3rd power play goal of the season. That's tied for the team lead. Overall, Poposky with his 6th goal this year. And able to draw first blood tonight are the St. Michael-Albertville Knights.
Beautiful feed right there to the off wing coming down, and just caught it by surprise. Changed sides. And Hyder had to get over, and he didn't get over there quick. And a nice, look at that. You just see that open lane there, and he just rips it into the net. Beautiful setup. Big news for the St. Michael Knights. Boy, that power play clicked really well. First time out, 1 for 1 tonight.
Held that offensive zone throughout. They created some confusion. Got players moving, and Poposky getting the goal. There, another attempt. Now the wraparound. Not quite there. They gave 1 assist to Sigerud. Did not hear the other one. Drabinski, possibly.
Yes,
thought I heard
Drabinski. He did say Drabinski.
So for Drabinski, that is his 13th assist of the season. And Sigerud with his 14th assist of the season. And both those guys had assists on Saturday. Everyone had an assist, it seemed like, on Saturday when you win 9-0.
See, that is the problem with St. Michael's schedule. They play in the Mississippi 8. The bottom half of that league is not very strong at all, where you get 9-0, 8-0 scores. But I really respect them for taking on the schedule they did with the non-conference. They took a lot of the top 10 teams in the state on and have done pretty good. So I'm not surprised by the score, John. You and I thought we weren't going to be surprised with something like this.
No. Yeah, they played some really good competition at the Schwann Cup, but even outside of that, they've done a stellar job of scheduling these sorts of non-conference games whenever possible. Puck forced into the Maple Grove zone. Hyder stopping it behind his own net. Maple Grove, again, having some trouble getting out of their own zone. They do feed it ahead. This puck just out of the reach of Peeler. He recovers and dumps it into the offensive end, but nothing but blue sweaters back there. And it's taken back out to neutral. Sent in, Brady Burning gives chase. Has it behind his own net. Sends it forward. Now we get a whistle and a stoppage on the icing.
Well, it looks like the blue jerseys right now got a little more jump in their skating right now. They've spread this out really well, and they're really giving Maple Grove fits from inside Maple Grove's defensive zone, John. I mean, they're working the full length of the ice here, and they're just making it hard for them to break out, get anything smooth going at all.
Puck sent ahead by St. Michael-Albertville. They recover. Ooh, a nifty backhander to try and center a pass. Nothing there as the defense shut it down. Nice work by Maple Grove. Crimson trying to break out. Kostelecki along the near side, lost it on his way up. Cole Lehman sending it forward. Kostelecki gets a stick in there once again, and Lehman has to recover. Kostelecki takes it away, centers a pass. Shot, save made, and the rebound forced out. Now picked up, and we've got a 2-on-1 developing. Turns into a 3-on-2. Shot just off the mark. 8:15 to go here in the opening period, and St. Michael-Albertville a hair away from doubling their lead. Garrett Sandberg dumps it into the offensive zone for the Knights. Here a shot. Pad save made. Attempt goes wide. That one off the stick of Sandberg. We go to the other end. Looking to turn on the Jets is Jaglow. He gets there, puts on the brakes then, and is knocked away by Fleming. Jaglow losing control. Held in the zone nicely. Will Peeler centers a pass. This one stopped, but the defender's not sure where. Big blast from in tight from Nick Lavilla that time.
Well, look, Jaglow had a lot of nice work on this particular rush here, and moving it out front to Latvala, and he got a great shot off, and good save by the goalie there.
Yeah, Damon. Again, I'm not sure he knew how he saved it, but he did stop it.
Sometimes you guess and it works out for you. But see, that's all positioning, John. If he's in the right position, it doesn't matter if he sees it or not. It isn't going to win.
Offsides called against St. Michael-Albertville, thanks to some poke checks there by Maple Grove, knocking that puck away, and it forced the the Knights to be off on their timing. So the face-off coming back out at neutral ice.
We've seen St. Michael do a great job in the offensive zone, where you can see the 12 years, the seniors really have played together well. They know where each other's at. They can just put the puck where they want to, and they're pretty sure another night's going to be there.
Here, puck given to the slot shot. That one goes a little wide. Stayed down on the ice that time. Hard checking behind the goal, and now we get an arm in the air. 7 minutes to go. And a roughing call coming here in the first period. So this is the first penalty against St. Michael-Albertville.
Well, Maple Grove's coming in with a 21% power play here, but you can see it up here. Just a little run there. Ganging up 2-on-1 guy is not good, plus the elbow got into the head a little bit as the Maple Grove player went down. So he's going to sit. Maple Grove firing at about 21%, which isn't too bad. You want to be at 25%, but that's still an okay number.
So that penalty on Lane Burning. So the roughing call against Burning is only the second time he's been penalized this season. The first time was on Saturday. Kept himself and his notes pretty clean this season until as of late. Like being passed back and forth. Maple Grove sets up on the man advantage for the first time tonight. Crimson leave it down to Borsch. Skates to the top of the slot. Risks a shot towards the net. That one kicked away. I believe it was Popowski who got his foot up to boot that one off. Here a shot makes it into the tender, but moved aside by Damon. Attack out at the blue line and able to get control. The Knights clear the zone. 1:10 left on the power play.
A good setup by the Crimson there. They got a couple good opportunities with two guys in front of the net doing a deflection, and you're not scoring goals. That's the way to do it. Get in front of the net and raise havoc with the goalie.
Crimson gain the zone once again. Some trouble for Jaglow at the half wall. Loses it. The clearing attempt bounces off of Kostelecki. He holds the zone. Turn around, and this one whipped out of there. Nicely done by Cole Lehman.
Well, the Knights have done a good job. They've got an 85% kill rate here on the penalty kill, which is a very good, excellent penalty kill. Only given up 12 goals in 76 attempts.
Puck played along the near side boards by the Crimson. Running short on time. 25 seconds left as this pass across, knocked away and then deflected out of the air. Cole Lehman again. He's been strong on this penalty kill. Puck out to the blue line. Kostelecki hands it back. Some trouble for Jaglow, and it's knocked out of the zone. And that'll pretty much kill off the power play. Down to 8 seconds left as the Crimson skate through neutral ice. Kostelecki loses it, and that clear will make it official. Nothing doing for Maple Grove on their first try on the power play.
They had a couple good setups, and after that, about halfway through, they pretty much were stymied. Just having trouble as St. Michael put the pressure on. They got aggressive on that penalty kill, especially in their own zone.
A little bit of a break here, and Zach Shalene getting it. He had lost his stick, so he chased it all the way in the corner, and then the puck came right to him after he got his stick. Helped them hold the zone for a time. Now Maple Grove gaining clean control. He'll play it up to the near side, and Maple Grove has had some spacing issues at times.
Yes.
We saw it just there. It led to a turnover. This puck poked ahead by Garrett Sandberg. Forces it into the offensive end. Now he whips it towards the net, but well wide. Bounces off the backboards. Far side, Shalene. First man there. Pokes it away. Jack Dorholt gives chase for the Crimson, and it's knocked out of the zone.
Well, the other thing I like that the Knights are doing, John, is they're really pinching their D. They're when they got the puck inside the attack zone, they're going to do everything they can to keep it, so Maple Grove can't use the boards to sneak out because the D's going to come down and punch it right back in.
We had two players pushed off on each other, and we get a penalty coming up. I'm a little surprised. Interference, the call. We're going to 3:56 to go here in the first period. You tell me what you think, Dan.
Well, unfortunately,
not playing the puck.
Yep. The puck was away, and there was no play for the guy, so you got to get out of his way. You can't knock him down. You can rub him a little bit, but that was a little too much force.
So Ryan Brandt, the team leader in penalty minutes, sits down for 2 after the interference. Here a quick wrister. Save made. Now it's held by Lehman. Back up to the blue line. Big blast that time goes wide. Here's Lehman in the corner.
Ooh.
Lost it, and we go the other direction. Kostelecki into the offensive end. It has it poked away. Nicely done that time by Luke Leyland. The sophomore speeds towards the offensive end. 90 seconds left on the power play. Leyland gets into the far circle. Wrists it towards the tender, and able to make the save is Ethan Heider.
Well, Luke Leyland is certainly standing out. The sophomore's been an outstanding player for the Knights this year. He's coming in with 27 points, but a lot of assists for the young man. 21 assists. And he's helped his teammates out a lot, and I think you know that name, Leyland. And Dad was a pretty good hockey player in himself.
Off the draw, left to the blue line. From there, Garrett Sandberg sends it down to the near side. This is Drabinsky. Back to Sandberg. From the blue line, sent to the far circle. Back to the top of the slot. Sigarud takes a shot, ends up off the backboard. St. Michael-Albertville recovers. Here's Spetz. Giving off to Sigarud. Spetz to Sigarud again. Now controlled by Sandberg. Towards the net, didn't make it there. And up off the back wall. Once again, Knights control. Here's Sandberg. To Leyland. Excuse me, Sigarud. Sandberg takes a shot. Ooh, that puck was loose, it looked like. Now it's caught up in one of the defensemen. Dahlquist getting that caught up in his equipment. It looked like he nearly did it again as the puck's cleared away. 2.5 to go in the period, just 30 seconds left on the power play.
Boy, Heider lost it on that last one. He couldn't see it, and when it finally popped up, he couldn't grab it. That was a dangerous moment. Defense finally cleared it out.
Sigarud into the offensive end. Now backs out, trying to kill some time while their fifth skater gets on. They made a change at the bench. The new man on the ice is Cody Kelly. He gets it at the top of the slot. Passes down near side circle. Hard angle shot. Bounces off a defender. Picked up by the Knights behind the net. Now they just hand it off, and the Crimson trying to work out of the zone. Able to do so. So that kills off the second opportunity on the power play for the Knights. They come up empty this time, and we're still at a 1-0 game in favor of STMA. Battle sees a stick lost for St. Michael-Albertville. Crimson break into the offensive zone. Shot in the glove save. Didn't squeeze it tight, but able to knock it away was Damon. in the top of the slot. Handed off to the near side. Kelly holds the zone barely. Everyone else retreated. So here's Cody Kelly handing off to Lehman. Lehman into the offensive zone. Tried to go between two defenders. Lost it along the way, but Luke Leyland's behind to pick it up. In the corner. Leyland trying to go around everybody. A lot of white sweaters in that area. Now Drabinski. As we go under a minute to play in the first. Shot from the top of the slot deflected by a stick. Now given between the circles, and it's stolen by the Crimson. Latvala breaks the blue line. Tries to center a pass. That one knocked away as Lehman got a control of it. Well, Lehman has been fun to watch defensively tonight for me.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Puck bounced around. Now laying down in front. Able to stop that attempt was Drabinski. 30 seconds left in the period.
Yeah, you've called Drabinski's name quite a bit here, too, in the period. He's played well. I mean, overall, St. Michael has had the better of this period. Just aside from the 1-0 score, they've moved the puck well. They've thwarted Maple Grove, not really giving them many real good chances, and they've done a good job really putting pressure on the Crimson D as far as getting out of the zone.
5 seconds left, and the Crimson finally trying to move it forward as they won't get a shot off. And St. Michael-Albertville holds it to the end of the first. And they hold the lead after the first. A 1-0 advantage on a power play goal from Val Popowski. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll recap this first period of play that sees St. Michael-Albertville leading Maple Grove 1-0.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
One period in the books, and St. Michael-Albertville holding a 1-0 advantage over Maple Grove after the first. While the youngsters are out warming up, let's look at what we saw in that first period of play. We saw speed, and we expected it from both sides, and we got it. There, an early attempt, good glove save by Hyder, and we talked about how many shots Hyder has faced this season, and his team is allowing 32 shots on goal per game. This one was the one that went in. Popowski with his 6th of the season, making it 1-0, that power play score. Nothing else made it through, but the pressure continued from St. Michael-Albertville in that first period. Maple Grove had a try or two at it. But this was certainly a period that belonged to the Knights. Shots on goal 13-10 is what was announced here in the arena. We didn't keep track ourselves, so we can't fully dispute it, but seemed a little bit surprising because the scoring chances were definitely on the Knights side in that first period, Dan. Yeah,
absolutely. They got more quality chances overall. We saw the one really good one from Maple Grove, but we saw a penalty for the Knights and 2 for Crimson, and of course it cost them on 1 as St. Michael got in 1 for 2 on their power play issue, and just had the better of that period, John, just to be honest with you. And Maple Grove's got to get a little bit of a spark and get smooth coming out of their zone, or they're going to be in trouble tonight.
Well, the little ones are just about out of time on the ice. We'll get the big boys back out for the start of the second shortly here on CCX Sports.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Premier Bank Rink, the site of tonight's matchup between St. Michael-Albertville and Maple Grove. The Knights jumping out to a 1-0 lead, trying to stretch what has been a very dominant part of their schedule for them. But tonight's competition obviously a little tougher than the Princeton team they beat 9-0, or the Monticello team they took down 7-2, or Chisago Lakes who they beat 8-0 in their last 3 games. They're being tested, and yet they are in the lead on the road after 1 period of play, Dan.
Well, Maple Grove, you know, they're 3-5 coming in here in their last 8 games, but the big one is a big 2-0 win over a very, very good Andover hockey team.
In just their last game, yeah.
Yeah, the other night. The game was played here, but that was a real boost for them. And they played Centennial before with lost 4-2, but again, played a pretty good game against a very good hockey team. So we got some things going for those. They didn't step up to the plate. It took them a while to get going here in the first period, and St. Michael took advantage of it because they came in ready to play. They had speed, they had movement, figuring out the angles where they get the puck to their line mates. But I think this second period is going to have a lot more tempo, and we'll see if St. Michael can start really connecting like it looked like they could with that senior experience. But
you said exactly what I was thinking. We expected St. Michael-Albertville to take some time to adjust to this rink, but as we talked about, it was Maple Grove who had more spacing issues in that first period.
Definitely, yeah. And they weren't ready for the pressure that the St. Michael forwards put on their D and disrupted their breakout.
So underway here in the second period, Maple Grove retreating back into their own end to watch an icing. We'll go back to the other end. St. Michael-Albertville set to have a draw in front of their goaltender, Justin Damon, who's kept his side clean so far. And these 2 goaltenders in tonight's game have been the mainstay. I mean, so often you'll see a rotation of some kind, but Damon has barely taken any time off, and Hyder's taken less time off. So they have been between the pipes all season long. Here's Shalene going around behind the net.
Hyder's a sophomore, too. He had a tremendous year last year as a freshman, but he's really come on now again, and they're going to go with him. He's the best goalie they got.
Damon's a senior, but this is his first year as a starter. Split time to a degree last year, sitting behind a 4-year starter. So he's been a pleasant surprise this season to come in and step up the way that he has after being buried behind a good goaltender. Maple Grove poking this one ahead, looking at a 2-on-1 as they hustle. And this shot passed across, and it was shut down. Extension from Justin Damon.
Just got it. I think it nudged the pipe, and then the net moved, but I think this is Morissette coming in and just comes through, and look at how close that came to going in. Oh my gosh.
Great feed by Peeler. He got it around the man, laid out. Actually, it was slightly deflected there off the stick of Spetz. But yeah, that wasn't one of those where the goaltender's bumping it off trying to create something. That was him fully extending for the save, and he got there.
Well, that's a good sign for Maple Grove now, John, because that was a rhythm move. They got the puck broken out. They had a 2-on-1 coming in and just set it up really nice coming through and got a great opportunity. Damon really had a stretch to make that save.
Draw coming in front of Damon once again, this time stick side. 2 in the dot got tied up off the faceoff, and it's poked out up the far side wall. Knights gain control in the offensive end thanks to Nate Swenson. Sent down to the near side. Poked ahead here by Kukkonen of the Crimson. Back into the corner, Connor Kelly. D-to-D pass, working with Dahlquist. Up the far side, Kostelecki pokes at it, taken away. Knights whiffing on an opportunity for a centering pass. Try to recollect, and the Crimson take it away. Maple Grove poking it ahead. This is Leafblad. Ben Leafblad breaks the blue line. Skates in off the back wall, handing it off to Kukkonen. Circles around, now gets in tight. Dogged by the defense, it's loose in the slot, poked out to the top, and it did cross the blue line. Maple Grove needs to touch up, but they do not. Offsides.
Point on that. Now here we go with the Crimson line that looked really confused. I mean, there was nobody in front of the net, and then Kostelecki comes around, or Kukkonen came around, and had a perfect opportunity to fire the puck, and just decided to stick handle and get in close. And shoot the puck, son. You're down by a goal. Shoot the puck.
Off the draw, came nicely over to Lane Burning. He brings it into the offensive end, flips it ahead, giving chase is Gorbinski. Can't quite get there, and Maple Grove forces it away off the far boards. Skating into the offensive end. Morissette now pass across. Big pad save, left a big rebound after the shot from Ryan Brandt, but it is eventually cleared away. Knights getting in deep. It's finally poked away. Held in at the blue line. Sent towards the net. Ends up in the near corner. St. Michael-Albertville's Brady Burning collects it behind the net. Comes out front. Tries a backhander. Loose puck knocked away. Getting a stick on it there was Brandt to get it out for Maple Grove. Man goes down as it's held in by Brady Burning. Burning sends it ahead. Bad positioning. Well, at least back to the goal there. Shut down Drabinski's opportunity for a good shot. Would have been perfect in basketball. Back down your man with those low post moves, but near puck left out to the blue line. Near shot. Bad save made. Goaltenders both sides have seen the puck well from distance. There's another one. Hyder, that one got there a little quicker than he expected, but he did get down and make the save.
Wow, I'm just looking at the lack of physicality that the Crimson are bringing to this right now. I mean, you will get an opportunity to see a long shot here coming in that Hyder has to make a save on one of those bouncers that they just hate dealing with it. But Drabinski standing in front of the net, and he just stood there and back in. I mean, you got to knock him down. You got to get him out of the way. The Knights right now are not afraid to get in the middle of this thing, and that's where they're just coming out ahead here right now.
Maple Grove controlling in the offensive end. Towards the far corner, Will Keeler. Good battle there by Jaglow. Kept it alive for his Crimson teammates in the offensive end. Keeler helping out as well. Those two have clicked since being put on the same line. I know Coach talked about that with us before the game. Here we go. Shalene takes a shot. This one held on to by Hyder.
Well, this Crimson line that just came out showed a little attitude here, but this one got away, but a quick shot, but you're not going to score from Hyder from there. I mean, he had it, but I like the way we talked about. They blended Jaglow and Radvala got into this and really started throwing it around a little bit and won some one-on-one battles.
Puck worked down to the near side. Crimson in their own end, just being dogged.
You saw that defense come down and pinch real hard on that board there and just would not let the wing have anything to do with it.
Maple Grove gets it away with Dorholt. Fed forward, this is Kostelecki. He breaks into the offensive zone. Kostelecki now behind the net, looking for options. Has his man back at the blue line, that's Dorholt. Sends it towards the net, deflected up and over the crossbar.
Leafblad had a great opportunity, that deflection there.
Dorholt back in his own zone. Pressure coming, and he whiffed on the pass, and it's stolen away. Centering attempt, got in there. Just too many Crimson players for anything to develop there for Adam Fleming, one of the best scorers on this team.
Well, Fleming got bodied right away, and that was a good play by the Crimson defense that they whiffed the puck. They put a body on Fleming and got him disrupted.
St. Michael-Albertville has been so close on some really pretty moves here tonight. They do a great job of poking it to themselves.
They support each other really well, don't they? I mean, there's always a blue jersey when needed to be.
Puck work to the far side boards. Crimson changing in front of their own offensive action. Now send it down behind the net. Taken away by Sandberg on the move. He flips it up off the far side boards to get it out of the zone. More of that forecheck. St. Michael-Albertville continues to be aggressive in that regard. Here's Tyler Borsch going the other way for Maple Grove. Borsch leaves it back from the top of the slot. The defenseman didn't have their sticks pointing the right way. Wrister eventually let loose by Brandt, just stopped by the defense in front. To the other end. Now a whiff on that side from Sigarud. Tries to poke it ahead. Nothing doing there, and it's taken by Morissette. Up along the far side boards. Connor Winkleman plays it forward. And it's punched into the offensive end by Borsch. Brady Burning from behind his own net. His feed forward. Now picked up cleanly by Spetz. He takes a quick shot. Rebound loose, and it bounces away from the three men crashing in on it. We go the other direction with speed. Matt Jaglow wants to control in the corner and get a whistle. Didn't ever gain it. Go back to the other end. I thought he had it.
He had a 3-on-2 set up too, John. It was right there. You see a nice move here, though, coming around, and just a great opportunity.
And 1, 2, 3, 3 blue jerseys, and no one can get a stick on that for the rebound.
Watch this. We got a 3-on-2 duel, and they blow the pass. Oh, my gosh.
Off the draw. Sent towards the net. This one ends up just wide. They were looking for a little tip from Lane Burning, and he couldn't get his stick on the puck. Puck forced out to neutral ice. St. Michael-Albertville trying to get it back in as Maple Grove's getting a little more physical as we go on here in the second period. Puck played along the near side. Matt Jaglow into the offensive end. Jaglow centers a pass, poked away. Taken behind the nets. Jaglow again getting to it. I'm going to go the other direction. This is Peeler. From the corner, leaves it back, looking for some support. He had Lafayette in the area. 10 minutes to go here in the second period. Still a 1-0 game in favor of St. Michael-Albertville. They get into the offensive zone. Early shot from Jake Benson goes off a shin. A fight along the backboards, knocked away from Lane Burning. This is Connor Kelly sending it forward. Now the feed up to Kukanen. Kukanen flipping a pass up to neutral ice. It was intended for Jaglow, didn't get there. Man gets knocked around after getting into the offensive end. That was Lehman who was laid out. And this puck leaving play.
Well, kind of sloppy play here back and forth. No one seems to be able to control the puck. They're kind of throwing it around, trying to hit some passes, but not quite getting there or getting disrupted by a body or stick. But the pace has definitely picked up. I mean, the legs are moving a little bit more on both teams in this period.
Maple Grove working their way up. Trevor Kukanen controls in the offensive end in the corner. Kostelecki comes over to support. They've got help on the backside from Tyler Board. Pass out to the middle, and it's taken away. Into neutral ice. Coming up clean is Fleming. Turns and fires this shot, knocked down. The rebound moved away, and it's taken to the corner by Ben Leafblatt of Maple Grove. Back towards the net. And some pokes as that one not quite cleanly connected. Now it ends up in the goal, but after the whistles had blown. Let's see what happened on this one.
If you come back up to the point here, and boy, just gets a nice shot there. I don't know if that was Fleming again, but right there, there's a Knight standing right there, right in Hyder's face, and
it's still odd to me how that made it through. But again, the whistle had been blown, so no score, and we stay at a 1-0 STMA lead. In the corner, finally picked up by Shalene. Gave it out to the blue line. Rister from there, and that one into Hyder. And I've complimented the Tenders on their ability to make plays on pucks from a long ways out, but there's been a couple times where I didn't think Hyder saw that one until just before it got to him.
Yeah, the Knights are getting pucks through, aren't they? I mean, they're taking shots from all angles and distances, and they're hitting the net with it.
Here, shot in this one. Hyder definitely saw it. He gloves that one easily. But yeah, they're threading the needle and getting it through some tight spaces to get it into the center.
Yeah, they are. They got their heads up when they're shooting. They see where they're going with it, and they're getting it through. And any shot on net is a good shot.
Shot and a save. Almost a carbon copy. I think this one had a little more heat behind it off the slap shot. But another glove save.
It's turning into a shooting gallery for Hyder there. It's just been like 3 in a row, 4 in a row where he's had to make a quick save on.
Left out to the blue line. He's going to see it again. Puck bounced behind the net, and Maple Grove able to take it off the count. They'll move it up along the near side boards thanks to Matt Jaglow. Jaglow checked hard into the boards. Brady Burning taking him off his skates. Crimson controlled, got a centering pass, but no one could get to it. And we go to the other end. St. Michael-Albertville fans wanting interference on that play as the chase was on for the puck. Here's a wrister that goes wide for Blake Spetz. Out to the far side. Peeler gets knocked around, and this one blasts wide. 8 minutes to go in the second. Into the offensive end. Peeler takes a shot. That one moved aside with ease by Justin Damon. Damon's had a quieter second period. He's not seen nearly as many shots as he did in the first. And he waits now. This one going a little too low. Icing call.
That's the first one they missed for a long time. You know, either got all the way down the ice and hit the net, but Jago just gets rocked here coming down. Had his head down a little bit. Defense stepped right into him.
And Burning.
Just a nice job. coming through.
Off the draw, played behind the net of St. Michael-Albertville. Chased into the corner. And the Knights will get out to neutral. Pass intercepted by Dahlquist. He'll turn and fire it back in to the STMA zone. Here we go. Luke Leyland trying to get in deep. He does so. Lost the puck along the way. Centering pass attempt. That didn't make it there, and the net was knocked loose while the play was moving away from the goal.
Number 9, Leyland with the Jets here trying to get around. Tried a good move here, but Maple Grove D all over him right now and ran into the net, so the puck will come, face-off will come outside as Leyland knocked the net off.
I mean, I don't know if the goal was to knock the net off, but I love that once he lost control of the puck, he just tried to take out as many players as he could, hoping someone else could come from behind and pick that up. I'm trying to think of another sport where I've seen something like that, and the only one that comes to mind is rugby. You just kind of clear out, and then if you lose the ball, you do what you can in that regard.
Well, the sophomore Leyland, I bet you he isn't 150 pounds soaking wet for heaven's sakes. Jeepers.
Puck play to the near side. Here's a shot. Save made, but it's loose. And no rebound attempt. We've got a whistle and a high sticking call. I didn't see this high sticking come.
I think it was that little mosquito Leyland in front, and they finally high sticked him. That you can see right there.
Sticks were up. Yep.
Yeah.
Who are we sitting? Going down is Dahlquist for the first time tonight. Third penalty on Maple Grove. The Knights are 1 for 2 so far.
You see him shaking his head there like, oh boy. Yeah, it's not been a good night so far for the Crimson.
Still looking for their first score.
Minor penalty is being assessed against the Crimson, number 26, Spencer Dahlquist. 2 minutes for high sticking. Dahlquist for high sticking. 10 o'clock, 6 minutes.
Spinning around, here's Sigaroot. Gives it over to the far side, now brought into the offensive end. Nice passing. Here's a shot. That one loose and ends up behind the net. I was watching Hyder, and he didn't know where it was.
He was way off balance, too. He almost fell in backwards and couldn't get up.
It was behind him, but not on the goal. It was on the backside. Puck fed forward as they break in once again. That's the only disadvantage to trying to attack like that. You don't set anything up. Now again, in their previous attempts on the power play, they really got in and set up the offense.
Yeah, he wasn't watching the far wing that made sure he was coming in to pick that come around the boards play.
This time, puck brought in by Sandberg. Maple Grove got a stick on it for a moment. Now it looks like clean control before St. Michael-Albertville. Sandberg handing it back down. He gets it at the blue line. To the middle for Sigaroot. Back to Sandberg. And fed ahead. Dubrinsky comes in, takes a shot, rebound. Shalene in the area, can't get a hold of it. Sandberg back to the point, down low, and this one goes wide off the stick of Spetz. They got the play they were looking for in that last drive.
They did, but I'll tell you what, we talked to Coach Johnson before the game, and he's just like, yeah, I think we found the power play that they like. Yeah, they're comfortable with this one, Coach. I think you found it.
We talked about them going 2 for 2 on Saturday, but that was actually their 4th consecutive goal with a power play score, for a 4th consecutive game with a power play goal. So for a team that's 16% on the season, to score 4 games in a row is a good sign. Here's a heavy shot and a save made. It's deadened and held on to by Ethan Hyder.
Well, at this rate, Ethan Hyder is just going to probably go take a shower at the end of the game and stay there for a while, and then probably jump into an ice bath. Nice setup here, and just a really ripped shot. A little bit too much of a deep angle, but you could just hear it hitting Hyder's pads. You know, it's like bang, bang, bang. Man. 7 seconds left here. Maybe time for one more shot.
That shot ends up wide. Crimson track it down in the corner, and now we skate full strength. Man hasn't gotten into the action quite yet, and here's a shot. That one, pad save, kicks it to the corner. So many almost moments tonight for STMA.
Phew.
Maple Grove headed the other direction. The puck goes right in into Val Poposky, who had positioned himself well. Now we get a whistle and a high stick call. This is a popular one tonight. I don't know if I've seen a high sticking call in any of my other games, or was this just played with a high stick? Yeah, I don't think we're getting a full penalty.
I don't think we're getting a full penalty, no. Well, I'll tell you right now, St. Michael-Albertville's coming, and they've taken the momentum away now. That power play certainly helped, but they've been just, Johnny, you know, the play of the ice is moved more consistently into the Crimson side of the ice.
Oh, it's tilted here in the second period. I think we're getting all the high sticks because guys are getting excited about lacrosse season already.
I can't see why not. I mean,
I know you are.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
Puck played to the far side corner, as once again we're in the Maple Grove end. From the half wall, puck lost for a moment, trickles towards the net, but no real shot attempt. Oh yeah, STMA is getting stronger as this game goes on.
Yes, they are.
It's still just a 1-0 game, and if you're the Crimson, you got to be happy about that. Maple Grove into the offensive end, looking for something on the break. Here a shot, save made, rebound comes back out, but not much there. The attempt by Connor Kelly, shut down by Justin Damon.
Yeah, and that's really all the Crimson are getting is one shot, and then the puck comes right back out again. I mean, the Knights are jumping all over it and getting it out of danger.
Hard angle attempt, now a centering pass, and shot, save made, rebound, not there. Nothing there as it was covered up after Brady Burning got a good, clean shot away.
What position does Brady Burning play?
Brady stepping up from the defensive position.
There he comes,
here.
right down the slot, down the slot. I mean, everybody's getting involved here. They're going all out in this game.
Burning, a guy who scored his second goal of the season on Saturday. Off the face-off, controlled at the point. High shot, glove save made on the Sandberg try.
And he was the guy that rocked Matt Jagwell's world there a few minutes ago. We put a highlight on, but overall, I mean, the Knights' defense has played very well, very strong, and moved the puck extremely well.
Off the draw, bounces back to the blue line. Sandberg tries to get it to the net, deflected along the way. Centering pass, nothing there. Try again, now from between the circles, shot and a blocker save made. Hyder punches it away. Track it down behind the net, this is Shalene. He'll send it down to the near side. Coming up to the half wall to try and make a play with Poposky, doesn't work out. And yet STMA back defensively nicely. So even when they're pinching up, guys are recognizing, they're rotating, and they're covering each other.
Nice call, John. That's perfect. I played defense all my life. You always, when you jumped in, you're always worried about the guy rotating to cover your back, and the Knights have done that very well tonight.
Again, that just speaks to 12 seniors on this team and the familiarity they have with each other.
What you said, absolutely. Oh, you can't beat experience, man.
These are the years that coaches wait forever for. They see it down in Pee Wees, and they see it building. And again, this is a squad, this senior class, looking for its 4th consecutive Mississippi 8 title this year.
This group, as Pee Wees, were in the state tournament. That ended up taking 4th place.
That's something the high school has not done, though.
Yes, correct. Being in the section they're at, they have a good shot of getting the state this year.
Clock stops with 2:03 remaining in the second period.
Their big obstacle is going to be the Moorhead Spuds.
Yeah, and that's a big one because they took on Moorhead earlier this year, and it did not go well.
No, it did not go well.
5-0 is the final score.
And it was at St. Michael, too, so.
Yeah. Those potatoes are electric. I don't know if you ever did that science experiment. You generated electricity with potatoes? No?
No, not actually. I don't know. I lived in a very limited world.
They had potatoes, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But I generally boiled them, baked them, mashed them, and
put them in
scalloped
a stew.
them.
Okay.
Yeah.
1:40 to go here in the second period. Puck behind the net of St. Michael-Albertville. The Crimson trying to get something going. It just takes one, and we're tied. Here, a wrister makes it all the way through, but off the backboards into the near side corner.
Well, just to build some rhythm, some momentum here, they need to get something rolling. They're cycling pretty good. Something to give them some confidence.
Moved out to neutral ice. Crimson still control, but they've got to reset. Dumped into the zone by Ben Leafblad.
Well, this is the big scoring line for the Crimson, and they really have done nothing.
Heavy shot ends up off the back wall, and a player pushed into the goal. That was kind of an open net, it looked like, as Damon was on the other side. Let's see.
Good shot and attempt, but
I almost wonder if Lehman that time decided to push that man in because he knew his goaltender was out of position to make a save if the rebound came over there.
Well, that's not cheating. If you're a defenseman, that's not cheating. You stepped in here, I'm going to take care of you. You're going to be meeting some pipe.
Under a minute to go here in the second period.
Well, you know, that's another thing too, John. St. Michael has won so many faceoffs.
St. Michael-Albertville deep in the offensive zone. Setting it up. They go out to the blue line. Skate in tight. Shot from the top of the circle. Deflected hard. That was a 90-degree turn on that puck.
Yeah, it was.
Kick to the side. Maple Grove recovers. Spinning in their own end. Losing their edge. Puck left out. Shot. Goal! Blake Spetz punches it home, and STMA has taken a 2-0 lead.
Spetz with his 12th goal of the year, boy. Just a beauty coming around. Turnover here by the Crimson. Went through, the puck comes back and just bam, up into the upper corner. Just a great shot. Zeroed that in. Great assist here, too.
Yeah, that was Sigerud on the feed. That's his second assist tonight.
Beautiful. What a great play. They have just rocked Heidersworld with shots, and finally one got through.
Maple Grove takes a blast from center ice with under 30 seconds to go. They give Shalene the other assist, his 8th of the year. Ten seconds left as the Knights come up for one more try. This shot deflected away on Luke Leyland's try. Centering pass didn't make it there. Back out to Leyland. Now this one flipped up and over, and we are done with the second period. But STMA, in the nick of time, with about 30 seconds left, gets their second goal of the season. The even strength score from Blake Spetz has made it a 2-0 game in favor of the Knights as we head to the second intermission.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
St. Michael-Albertville, 1 goal in the first, 1 goal in the second, and that's where we sit in the second intermission. 2-0 lead for the Knights against the hometown Crimson of Maple Grove. Let's jump into the looks here, and you had some chances, and that was probably the best one, with Peeler and Jaglow working together. However, Damon was on top of it, as he was throughout the period. Outstanding work for St. Michael-Albertville. They had a lot of chances. This one didn't work out. The forecheck creates the score, though. Sigerud feeding it off, and the finish from Blake Spetz. That goal came with about 30 seconds left in the period, so we had nearly a scoreless second. Instead, St. Michael-Albertville gets the late score. They've taken over in shots on goal. They're definitely leading in scoring chances at this point, and it's not close. Everyone came up empty on the power play in that second period. And again, if I didn't know how many goals had gone in, I would think we'd have a larger lead for St. Michael-Albertville at this point, Dan. They've dominated not only on the power play, which is very evident, but 5-on-5 now they took over. It's a complete domination throughout over half that second period. So, and it's evident in the shots on goal we saw. And we go back to, if you're Maple Grove, you're excited that you're still in this game because 2 goals can be overcome. In fact, some would say it's the most dangerous lead in hockey. But they've got to figure some things out and play a little bit differently in the final period. They got to get the first one first before they can threaten, and they need it badly because they need that energy momentum. We'll come back once the ice is ready to go. 2-0 St. Michael-Albertville leading Maple Grove here on CCX Sports.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Two down, 1 to go, and a 2-0 lead for St. Michael-Albertville on the road tonight. The Crimson coming out of the locker room shortly. They're spending a little extra time in there. They've got more to talk about, Dan.
They got a lot to talk about. Now, they're down to 2-0, but it almost seems like 4-0 at the rate it's been going. They got to start pressing. So I would expect now the Crimson are going to come out. They're going to start pitching their D. They're going to start extra men into the rush. They're going to be able to give up some odd man rushes in order to get a goal. They got to get that first one, and then it makes it the hardest lead in hockey to hold. So I would expect them coming out with some jump and getting all 5 players into the attack. St. Michael, just do what you've been doing. Stay tight, defense, be the solid wall you are. Keep everything outside, and keep your bodies. Keep moving the bodies on the Crimson. They've been very good with that tonight, so moving the puck good too.
Tell me this, it's easy for me, and it's easy for most fans to pick up on what the offense is doing, and it's been fun to watch St. Michael-Albertville's offense do what it's been able to do tonight, but the defense has been there throughout. What are some things that have stood out to you from that side?
Well, number one, they're forcing them to take longer shots. Number two, everything's to the outside. They're not letting them get inside, and when they do, bodies go flying, as we saw getting thrown into the net. You step into that crease on the Knights, they take care of business. The other thing that they do exceptionally well is they move the puck. Once they get control of it, the puck is generally going out of the zone on a winger or a center's stick. And I've been very impressed with that. They're also not afraid to reverse. They'll start out one side, they'll bring it back behind the net, get it to the other side, reverse it to break out. So that's been the real difference. Their defense has played way better than the Crimson's defense.
Both teams look ready to go. Crimson going back left to right, now right to left for the Knights. And so far tonight, goals scored by Val Popowski and Blake Spetz. Off the draw, a quick shot attempt by Caden Sigerud. Sigerud's had a nice night tonight. He's assisted, the primary assist on the 2 goals.
Yeah, he's just been all energy, though. I mean, he's been in the play the whole game. Just really hard player.
Trickling puck towards the goaltender, and Justin Damon stops and holds on. Glove side draw coming up in front of Damon.
Crimson got to start winning faceoffs.
That's another thing that you brought up in the second period, and this one doesn't really go their way. So Shalene takes it out of the zone, carries it to the offensive end, takes a shot, swallowed up by Ethan Heider.
So the Crimson get a face-off inside the attack zone and lose it, and well, the puck's down in their zone. And the Knights have been doing that all night. I knew I'd say that sooner or later. Double entendre.
Draw to the stick side, and it's taken by Maple Grove. They'll break into the offensive end. Shot, save made up on the shoulder, rebound, clearing attempt, pad save late. This shot into the pads again. How did Damon survive all of that? And the puck cleared out of the zone.
Yeah, just looking at that flurry there, it's almost like they're standing under a bad omen. You know, a good shot, there's a rebound opportunity. There'll be another one coming through right there. And then on the other side, they just lost the stick or just bounced the wrong way. They're just not getting any breaks that way.
I got to imagine as a goaltender for Damon, when your first save is up with your shoulder, getting down to get a rebound is tough.
It is, yeah. And you notice he didn't control the rebound very well.
Back the other direction. Into the offensive zone goes Jordan Drabinski. Drabinski lost it, and it's taken off the near side boards by Kostelecki. He feeds it forward. Kukkonen trying to give it back. Backhanded pass towards the net, and it's cleared away. Cole Lehman carries out of the zone. Lehman still has it into the offensive end. Sends a pass across, mishandled. Drabinski probably had a good opportunity if he could have held on. Here's a shot to flex off the skate. That one carried up high. Apparently didn't touch the rafters, and we play on. Puck taken into the offensive zone briefly, and then Kostelecki loses it. to the other end. Puck left out in front, and offsides is called.
Now we just saw 3 rushes by the Crimson in his last minute. Comes down, they get a shot or two. As soon as the defense gets it, bang, out it goes. And that last time, they only got about a quarter of the way into the zone, and the defense for St. Michael got it, and bang, they got out again. Just real smooth.
Off the draw, work back into the corner. Ryan Brandt gets to it for Maple Grove. Pass ahead, intercepted, well done by Blake Spetz to get a stick down and shut that opportunity off. Sigerud back in his own end, hands it off. Here's Lane Burney. Chips it off the glass. Having to turn and run after it is Brandt. Brandt going against Shalene. The battle continues in the corner, trying to work it up to Will Peeler. Now a shot towards the net, sticked aside by Hyder without too much trouble. Spetz sends it back behind the goal. Picked up by Shalene. Hands off to Sandberg. Behind the net, Sigerud. Out to Sandberg at the blue line. Trying to get the defender off balance. Leaves it down into the corner. Feet into the circle. Pass across, and that one shut down on the attempt. They were looking for Shalene in front. He got tied up by the defense. Sandberg knocks that out of the air, brings it into the circle, skates in deep. Knocked off the puck momentarily by Latvala. Puck sent down to the near side, and the Crimson gain control. They look tired as they try to move it up ice. Now getting a little speed is Jaglow, but not enough. Worked out, worked in. St. Michael-Albertville sending it forward. Man goes hard to the ice. Connor Kelly, and that was just a timing thing. Got caught in a bad situation. It was not an intentional check.
No, neither one of them were looking as they come across here. One's looking at the puck, the other guy's looking toward, they're both looking toward the puck coming at them.
Both focused on that puck and not where the puck and the players coming for it were. So setting himself up is Connor Kelly. So good sign there, but obviously in some discomfort.
Well, bell rung, stiff neck. I mean, he got jolted pretty good. Helmet to helmet, helmet to shoulder. Both are going at a pretty good clip, too. Happens sometimes, but I'm glad the young man's sitting up and seems to be getting his bearings again.
As he rolls himself to his knees, St. Michael-Albertville coming up will be at Cambridge-Isani on Friday. And then Maple Grove's next action is at Osseo on Saturday. Both these teams, or excuse me, Maple Grove will play Thursday against Coon Rapids and then at Osseo on Saturday. So STMA has 4 games left after tonight, 5 more on the schedule for the Crimson before the end of the year.
Both of them have some key games. Maple Grove's got Duluth East they got to take care of here at home, and St. Michael's got to take care of Brainerd, who's been a surprisingly very good hockey team this year. They just went up to Roseau and beat them. Had a nice little run here, and they, I believe they beat Moorhead too.
Oh,
I think they did, yeah. Close game, but I'm very impressed with the Knights tonight. I don't know about you, John, but I like the way they're playing. Frankly, they've adapted to this bigger sheet of ice better than the Crimson have. They're using it very well.
Face off, forced ahead by St. Michael-Albertville. It was the man on the draw who came away with that and brings it into the offensive zone. Forced ahead for Adam Flamang. Flamang in the corner, looking for some help. Leaves it out to Lehman at the blue line. Nope, send it across. Now this wrister came off weak. Stolen away, stolen back, picked up, pass across. Oh, I thought he was going to shoot that. Instead, he fed it off to Flamang. But that was Cody Kelly's attempt there, and the defenseman didn't feel comfortable in attempting his second goal of the season. Here's Lehman from behind his own net. Starts up ice. Has speed, gets his stick knocked away. Trying to juggle it back as he skates up ice. After it's dumped ahead, most of the Knights go off on a change. Offsides.
Boy, oh boy, you know, this is the line because Kastelecki and Kukkonen line that's got to get. I mean, it's their leading scoring line. I mean, they've got. Well, what did we see here?
Kukkonen's got 14 on the season, and Kastelecki 7.
7, so 21 goals right there.
But outside of Jaglow's 12, no one else has more than 2.
No.
For Maple Grove this season. So scoring has been in short supply because they don't have enough guys contributing.
Yeah, a lot of them been hurt and stuff like that. And maybe it's just a question of, you know, some of them getting back to playing again after being hurt for a period of time.
Puck sent around the boards to the far side wall. St. Michael-Albertville with a 2-goal lead and 12.5 minutes remaining. And at no point have they changed their approach to this game.
No, they haven't had to. They haven't had to at all. They've dominated. They've played their game and done a very good, played a very good hockey game.
They haven't relaxed yet. You got to hold on because this lead is not as big as it feels to you and me. I don't know how it feels to the players, but we've talked about how dominant they've played.
Well, if you look at it from their viewpoint, you know, Maple Grove, when you think of Maple Grove, you think hockey power. They've been a dominant power for a number of years here in the North Suburban. They've been to state a couple times over the past 5 years. Not the same team, but still, this is a game. This is a money game. You want to build a reputation on that you can beat these guys.
And talk about the Crimson going to state. How about 2017 and 2012 as their appearances?
Mm-hmm.
Puck tapped ahead.
Look at this.
Shalene on the attack, has it knocked away. Good recovery by the Crimson D. Got there, played it clean with the stick. St. Michael-Albertville, we mentioned repeatedly their opportunity to take the, this puck deflected awkwardly off an arm and then it's covered up in the crease. I believe that was hooked by the arm of the Crimson player.
Yes, it was. We'll see it come in here. I think it was a D that got stuck and kind of got his arm out there. Yes. Got the arm up and weird bounce here. And
that was a tap at the end, so Shalene did a good job of recognizing, and he did put stick to puck. However, not enough behind it to get it past Hyder.
Boy, Hyder had his heart sticking in his throat there. Thought he had it covered, and all of a sudden, oops, there it is.
I was saying about the Mississippi 8 as this set up, shot towards the net, deflected away. They're actually third in points in the Mississippi 8 right now, but they're undefeated. So 7-0, they just haven't played as many games because they've been playing so many of these non-conference games. They'll finish up the schedule with plenty inside. Puck out to the blue line, we get a whistle. Interference call. And coming with 10:42 remaining.
And Crimson going to get a power play here, I think. Yep.
So while St. Michael-Albertville was on offense, they're called for the interference on Shalene.
Well, this is a break here now. We'll see who comes out here. We got Trevor Coogan in. I would expect him to be out here. Jago's in here. Out here. Kostelecki's out here.
Borsch and Brandt look like the defensemen. Off the draw, one back by the Crimson. Good first step.
Yes.
Borsch trying to hand it down low. It's turned over. Headed the other direction. Popowski was trying to break out. He's got a shorthanded score this year. The only one that St. Michael-Albertville has. There, a shot deflects off the stick, carries out. Quick attempt by Trevor Kukkonen, but nothing there.
Well, they have the setup pretty good. Just got it deflected. The defense of the Knights just stepping up and getting a stick in the way, but had a fairly good setup here. And they finally spread out. Now we'll see if they can win another faceoff and get it set up there.
Handed back to the blue line, wrister, and that one held on to by Justin Damon. Damon trying to protect the shutout. Be back-to-back if he can hold on to the rest of this because he had the shutout on Saturday.
Matt Jago, get in front of the goalie. Don't stand next to him. Get in front of him. Block the shot. Visibility.
Puck handed out to the blue line. Tap down into the corner. Ryan Brandt. Hands off to Kukkonen. Fed inside. Kukkonen gets it back. Looking at his options. Slides it down low for the captain. Jaglo. Out to Kostelecki. Here a shot deflected, and we go the other direction with speed thanks to Luke Leyland. Leyland ahead of the pack, alone with the tender, takes the shot. Goal!
Boy, you could just kind of feel that one coming, couldn't you?
The Crimson defense did everything they could to try and get back into the play here, and they were close, but Leyland stays strong.
The little sophomore comes through and just sticks his head in there and just sticks with it. Hyder, I think, got a piece of it, but Leyland got in with a stick at the end there and just kept directing it in. Wow. Big mistake. That's the one thing defense should do when they're out on the point, especially in the power. If you take a shot, you cannot hit the shin pads of the person coming out of you. Make it go deep. You don't have to put a shot on net. Just make sure it gets deep. You've got the power play, and that was a big mistake. You can just tell right here. Never should have taken that shot.
Unassisted for Leyland, his 7th of the season as he holds on until the goalie commits and puts it home. Just the 2nd shorthanded goal this year for St. Michael-Albertville.
You know, and then we haven't talked too much about it, but, you know, Damon's been pretty good in net. He hasn't been tested by a billion shots, but he's had some shots that have tested him.
Well, that's a deflating score. Under 10 minutes to go.
Yeah.
You're on the power play looking to get within 1, and instead you're down 3-0. So Maple Grove, they've been trying to find something that clicks. Some reserve. Now it's going to be a little bit tougher. This isn't insurmountable. Puck lost out of the zone by Kukkonen. St. Michael-Albertville gets his 5th skater on the ice. We go even strength. Kukkonen losing it as he tried to get in tight. Now out at neutral ice, this is Adam Fleming. Brought into the offensive end. Placed behind the net, and it's picked up on the move by Jack Dorholt. The junior trying to speed up ice. Dorholt dumps it ahead. Wanted support from Latvala. Latvala got to it, and it's handed right to Cody Kelly. Forced out of the zone. Maple Grove down towards the near side. St. Michael-Albertville. Good 2-man game there. Little bump on the pursuit. Someone else gets to the boards, and it's forced ahead.
Yeah, St. Anthony won that battle again. I'm sorry, St. Michael. I knew I was going to say that too, by gosh, a few times. Well, pardon me, folks. I'm sorry. Oh.
Into the offensive end come the Knights. This shot deflected. Looked like more of a pass from Jake Benson that time. Now a whiff on a holding attempt at the blue line. So the Knights had to regroup at neutral ice. They're able to do so, and this puck chipped into the stands. Everyone got out of the way.
Well, there's that support we were talking about, John. You know, they had the whiff on the puck. A blue jersey's there to pick it up and get it going back in the right direction. You know, and the Knights might be playing one of the best games they've played in a while. I mean, they look good. They're supporting each other. They're moving. They're skating. They're making plays. Crimson are just off. I mean, it's just little things you notice that are just taken away from their game. And like you said, it's deflating, especially when you give up a shorthanded goal like that, too. They just haven't been right there tonight at all.
Well, and we talked about the talent level that is in this Northwest Suburban North. So Maple Grove's record is a hard-fought record to get there, even if it's not as nice as what St. Michael-Albertville does. But we've talked repeatedly about St. Michael-Albertville and their recent winning streak, dominating their last 3 opponents. But you go out and say something like, this might be the best game they've played in a while, because the competition level is up. And while the scoreboard might not be as lopsided as it was in the last week or so, this is a quality win that they're working towards.
Well, they want to get that number 2 seed, you know, behind Moorhead in that section, so they don't have to play them until the championship game. This is how you do it. You build your resume like this by beating teams that, you know, maybe people don't think you should, so to speak.
Puck tipped along the near side boards. Passed ahead into neutral ice. With some speed, this is Sandberg. Sandberg comes around the backside, centering pass, and it's picked up by the Crimson. Maple Grove trying to head out. It looked like Kostelecki nearly lost it. Way out of the net comes Damon. He was trying to hold it. And now we've got a cross-check call, as Leyland was left down on the ice. but it's, or excuse me, Sigerud, but it's Sigerud who's going to the bench. He'll sit for 2.
Okay, 6:20 to go. Crimson back on the power play. Well, never say never, John. You know, maybe they could pop one in here.
Sigerud leads this team in penalty minutes. He's sitting down once again. Good feed across, but the connection with Jaglow wasn't there. He whiffed on it.
Oh.
They didn't get the steal, but they forced Maple Grove out of their comfort zone. Back to the top. Kostelecki has his shot deflected. Again, it's deflected. Bodies in front of shots. Down to the near side, here's Borsch. To the top of the slot. Kostelecki down to the near side for Kukkonen. Up to Borsch, blue line. His shot deflected away, and it's out of the zone. Now, how much of this is positioning and movement by St. Michael-Albertville, and how much of it is Maple Grove not getting good shots away?
It's both.
Okay.
It's both. I mean, you just got to make sure you miss that person. Like I said, you don't have to put it on net. Just get it down there. But miss the guy. Jeepers, don't, you know, we saw what happens. Get it down low and go after it.
Another clear. 5 minutes to play here in the third period. Backhanded attempt, loose in front, then it's popped out of there to the near side corner, cleared away. A rolling puck. Stopped by Hyder and handed off to his teammates with just 16 seconds left on the power play now. And cleared once more. You know, if you're on offense on the power play, you don't want me to sound like a doctor in an ER. Clear.
Yeah.
Wait 5 seconds. Clear. Wait 5 seconds. Clear. Just they have not established the offensive zone the way that they would like to.
No,
in the way that they need to as we get to desperation time.
See, there was a setup again and a whiff.
This shot deflected twice by the opposition, nearly tricked Damon. His defense has done well in front of him, but they almost sold him out that time. Puck left to the blue line. We're at even strength. Fed to the middle. Shot missed on, but there's help from behind, and it's collected by St. Michael-Albertville. Pass in front, shot from point-blank range is shut down by Hyder. Nice save.
All right, they set up the triangle real nice there. Had a man sitting at the top of the triangle and got it to him, and he got a good shot off.
This one goes just wide. 3:15 remaining here in the third. Backhanded attempt, and that one kicked away. The symmetry for the Knights has been good tonight. 1 goal per period. They lead 3-0 with 3 minutes to play.
Boy, John, I like it when you use words like that. Symmetry. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, it's funny though, but you're right. The game of hockey is symmetry. It is rhythm. It is movement. And when a team's not in their rhythm and not, I mean, things don't go well. And it's been that the Crimson have been a little off, but St. Michael's had a lot to do with that too.
Yes. Oh yes, definitely seems like one team has been in rhythm and the other team has not throughout the course of this night. Puck leaving not just the zone, but the entire ice.
Coach Johnson's got to be pleased with this team's performance tonight, and as they move on building their resume again, but I've been very impressed with this team. The other thing I've been very impressed with too, they can skate. They can definitely skate. They've got some definite speed, for sure.
Coach Berglund's hoped that they would have some trouble with the big ice. That didn't work out so well tonight.
No, it didn't.
Puck dumped into the offensive end by the Knights. Crimson carry out for a moment. And and left back behind the Maple Grove net.
Well, you can see now where the Knights, they're going to have a third guy back now. They'll send 2 guys into the zone. The third guy will stay high up by the point and make sure that they don't give up any odd man rushes. It'll always be 3 men back.
It's an offsides. It's the second offsides where I was a little surprised to hear the whistle. This is one of the rare occasions where we're not right at the center ice. We're on the opposite blue line tonight, watching live. So for us, I don't have as good an angle as I usually do. But St. Michael-Albertville has been very close to being onside with the offsides that they've been called for. This puck gets through everyone. And the Knights DD pass over to the far side. I don't think I've said that before tonight for St. Michael-Albertville. This just hasn't been the way they played.
Yeah.
The defensemen have gotten it and they pushed it forward.
Yep.
Always forward. 1:35 to go here in the third period. Tyler Borsch breaks the blue line. Borsch takes a shot. Save held on to as Damon got that one right in the breadbasket.
Now, Borsch did one good thing that absolutely drives me nuts when wingers come charging down on the far side. They take a shot from the wide angle. They miss the net. And where does it end up? Back in your zone. This way you hit the pads, at least you got a face-off in the zone. A lot of times if it goes in the pads, a rebound can come out and somebody charging the net can get a good opportunity.
We're going to need new representatives in the circle, at least one. And this draw, one back by Maple Grove. Shot towards the net, that one just wide of both the pads and the post. Holding the zone thanks to Andrew Sillerud. Played behind the net, worked around to the far boards, and picked up on the move. Yeah, the rush doesn't work so well when your teammate doesn't have a stick. Lane Burning picks his up off the ice. Maple Grove back into the offensive end, under a minute to play. Shot deflected down in front, a change coming, and we go with speed the other direction. Lane Burning brings it up ice, and the defense able to get back out there for the Crimson in time.
Good step in check by the Crimson D that time.
Here a shot on, covered up as Ethan Hyder holds on. Again, after tonight, next action for Maple Grove comes Thursday right back here at the Maple Grove Community Center. They'll take on Coon Rapids. And this one outside the section, but the rest of the way, Maple Grove needs some wins. Still think they've got a shot at that second seed.
Well, frankly, with what's been going on, they're going to have to win the rest of their games. Now, they can, compared to who they're playing, but one of the games is against Duluth East, and they have to at least make a good showing there in that game, too, to get that number 2 seeding. Otherwise, this isn't going to help, not necessarily by losing to St. Michael, but by a 3-0 score, getting shut out.
3 seconds remain. The clock's still ticking. The puck is loose, so they let it run down and run out. Tonight, the Knights march into Maple Grove and take down the Crimson 3-0.
Thoroughly dominating performance, John. There was no doubt in this game who the better team was. St. Michael came in here and wanted to prove something, and they certainly did. They're a very fine hockey club, and they're going to be a contender for 8AA. If they keep improving here, they might give Moorhead a game.
In their first ever meeting, St. Michael-Albertville defeats Maple Grove. We want to thank all of you for tuning in. For our entire CCX Sports crew, including my broadcast partner Dan Ficken, I'm John Haddon saying so long from Maple Grove.